Alright, greetings everyone, my people. There is fire on the mountain right now as I'm speaking to you. If you see what is happening right now in Nigeria, finally the USA have come out in their conclusion and tell the Nigerian government to abolish the Shariah law, which they not to practice. Say they don't want that to happen again. This rain that is about to rain is going to wet everybody. They not have come out and made their stand that instead of them to abolish the Shariah law, that they would rather divide this country. This is the wake-up development. This is what we have been expecting since all this while, and now it's happening in our present time. All thanks to God and all thanks to America. So my people, buckle up, sit well while we enjoy this great video.
The question that I have for you is, the Nigerian Constitution prohibits the ownership of firearms, but somehow these Fulani militants operating in the middle belt of region of the country, they're all armed. And we're not talking about ISIS, we're not talking about Boko Haram. Why hasn't there been some type of move or campaign by the Nigerian government to disarm these militants that are operating there, where we're seeing a lot of this killing that is coming from them? They have access to AK-47s and other small arms to slaughter Christians. Is this something that you've been talking to the Nigerian government about? Because I think it would actually have a serious impact, and it is something that I raised with the Nigerian government officials when we met with them. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Moore, and thank you also for your service on this task force that will be providing recommendations in your meetings with the Nigerian officials. Appreciate that. I think that this is an excellent suggestion as part of the strategy that we are putting together, in particular to talk about the policing aspect of this and what is happening in the Middle Belt, so that we can focus resources and have specific recommendations on actions that the Nigerian government can take. I very much appreciate that suggestion.
Yeah, it just seems to make all the sense in the world to me. It's like, here we are. I mean, I understand we're not going to get like ISIS to lay their arms down. That's probably more of a kinetic option there that's going to result in their arms no longer being brought up in anger against Christians. But in any event, this seems to be something that, obviously, I'm not saying it's easy, but it is something that they should be doing, they should be looking at. And while I got just a couple seconds left, I would urge the Nigerian government to take a look at pardoning Sunday Jackson, who is an individual who was fighting for his own life, defending his life against one of these Fulani militants. That Fulani militant lost his life in that struggle, and now that person, Sunday Jackson's, facing the death penalty. Now, where's the justice in that? Where is the justice in that? And all these Fulani militants are breaking the law. They are breaking Nigerian law. And so this Sunday Jackson disarms this person with a knife, protects his own life. He's going to prison and now faces a death penalty, and Fulani militants just roaming bands of them with AK-47s, and that's no problem. You are so right about this question of prioritization. I know I'm over time, Mr. Chairman, but I appreciate the time.
Thank you so much, Mr. Moore, for your leadership.
Mr. Chairman, thank you.
Therefore, on behalf of all the 40 Islamic organizations that form the Zamfara State Muslims League, we hereby state the following. 1. We in Zamfara State are more than 99% Muslims. We were the first to implement the Sharia system in 1999. We want all and sundry to know that we are comfortable with the system and we will never allow it to be tampered with. 2. The request of Dr. Obadere is not based on any expertise, but on biasness and Islamophobia. 3. The U.S. has no business meddling in the international affairs of our country, or act as a custodian of a certain religion, or start a new crusade against Islam, with Nigeria as its first victim. 4. We emphatically affirm that Muslims in Nigeria will not stand by and look while a foreign power dismantles the Sharia system just to make some anti-Islamic Christians happy. We know that America has been sponsoring Zionist terrorism in Palestine, and the genocide of Muslims. We are ready. We are also ready to pay the price the Palestinians are paying if America should decide to come to Nigeria to dismantle Sharia. 5. We are calling on President Bola Tinubu to treat carefully. He should remember that he rose to power on the goodwill of Sharia-loving Muslim population of this country. 6. We also call on Muslim representatives in the Senate and the House of Representatives never to allow themselves to be used for the achievement of crooked objectives detrimental to the interests of those they represent. 7. We call on our governors and members of the respective houses of assemblies not to relent or give in on this matter. They must stand firm and ensure our freedoms in a sovereign Nigeria. We are also using this medium to appeal to our northern governors, especially the Sharia compliant states, to intensify efforts in protecting, safeguarding, and promoting the Sharia legal system in their respective states. 8. It is time for our traditional rulers to stand up and talk. The labor of our leaders past shall never be in vain. 9. Our ulama and imams must stand up and talk. Imams must convey our message of resistance on all pulpits. Sharia implementation is our religious right, which we are entitled to. We will never accept intervention on how to practice our religion from any quarter. 10. Finally, we call on all Muslims in Nigeria to be ready to defend our religion and the Sharia system, whatever it takes. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I think it's been a very difficult year for Nigerians, but the fact of the matter is that many of the preceding years have been equally difficult on Nigerians. But I think what marks this year is the glaring inability, or some would say unwillingness, of the Nigerian state to carry out its constitutional responsibility of providing for the security and welfare of Nigerians. Since 2009, how do we explain the fact that each year insecurity continues to grow and the number of people, civilians with arms, using these arms against communities, against road users, against even the military and the police themselves, clearly indicates a sustained lack of effort on the part of the Nigerian state to carry out its constitutional responsibility. The fact of the matter is that once you have people who have no rights to arms procuring arms, and then finding out they could use those arms with impunity, that problem is bound to increase. We have had many moments of hope that the tide will turn. When Buhari came, many of us felt the tide will turn. This is a tough general. He will deal with them. He did nothing of that. He proved totally incapable of doing that. People like the current president, who had before criticized the Jonathan administration for school abductions and rising insecurity, today find themselves at the helm of the state and performing worse than Jonathan did at their time. So it's a very sad tale. The narrative is extremely disturbing, and the problem we all face as Nigerians is that we are yet to see a government that has both the will, the determination, and the know-how to attack this problem of rising insecurity.